Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Raeann, but you can call me Ray. Today's video, we're going to be playing with this palette right here. So I've already done 3 looks with the other 2 palettes that are a part of the Colourpop Ulta Beauty Butterfly collection. Sorry, words, couldn't remember what it was called. But anyways, they came out with the Butterfly collection. They came out with 3 palettes and I've just been playing with them, and yeah, they're really pretty. And this is going to be the last video in the series, so I'm going to do 3 looks with this palette here. So this one is the Butter Me Up palette, and yeah, if you guys want to watch the other videos, I'll link them down below. And I also have a video with swatches and a look for each palette all together. If you guys want to see how I got this look here and the other 2 looks, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so this is what we're going with right now. I will say, I kind of just not gonna say that I didn't think about it, but I just went for it, and I was just doing it, and then I look at it and make sure that everything was looking good, and then the more that I just kept going, the more and more I was like, this is actually really good. And I realized that when I'm not over critiquing something, I do so much better. It's weird, right? When I'm not overthinking and over paying attention, I do a lot better. So this is the look that we're going with. I love these colors. I like how dark it is, but also how much color there is in it too, you know? So let's go ahead and get into it. This is the first color we're gonna go into. And because we're doing a cut crease, I'm just gonna go in with a big fluffy brush, and then if it's a little messy, we'll kind of clean everything up. But this is gonna be our transition blending shade anyways, so we can kind of go a little ham with this because it is a lighter shade. I'm gonna do a little bit more, and then we can definitely go back into this shade later if we need to. Okay, so the next shade I'm going to go into is Details. So this one right here. And honestly, I'm using the same brush for majority of this look. It just feels right, you know? Just deepening it up a little bit. Okay, and then from there, I'm going to go into this Reckless shade. I'm gonna go back into that Made to Last shade, so that first one, and kind of blend everything out a little bit. So from there we're gonna go back into that Reckless shade and just take a different brush and just focus it right in here to the inner to mid eye area. And actually, I wanted to take my favorite brush in the whole entire world and do this, which is this one right here. So just building up that color. For some reason, I also use this for my highlight shade. Let's go ahead and just keep deepening that up a little bit. That looks a little tiny bit harsh right now. Gonna take that Details shade and just kind of buff this out a little bit. Honestly, I think that's fine for now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut out my crease, and I'll be back. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and go into this Fleet shade. So this really hot pink shade right here. By the way, I'm sure I've said this a million times, I got this at TJ Maxx and I just want to go and get more. I want so many that I can just change it out whenever I want to and just have a stack of them right in front of me. Obnoxious, maybe, but from that shade, I'm going to go into this purple shade. that I'm matching up the eyes. That looks pretty good. So from there, I'm just going to take a tiny bit of this purple matte shade and then just place that out here. And then go back into that Reckless shade. Gonna go back into some of the shades that I already used. I'm gonna cut it out, but just letting you know that I am going into those shades, like Details and Made to Last, just kind of going in and making sure everything's blended. Okay, and then I'm just taking that Reckless shade, and that's gonna be the under eye color. Oh, but I put too much on it first. And then from there, I'm gonna go into that Fleet shade, so that hot pink shimmery shade. And then just right in the like tear duct area and the under eye just a tiny bit. And then from there, good question. I'm just gonna go into the big three, so this shade here. It's your like highlighty shade. I think all three of them have like a highlighty shade in there. This one's cool because it's got like a green tone to it. It's too big of a brush, and I'm pretty sure I did that the last time too. What am I doing with my life? Okay, well that's gonna be kind of hard to clean up, so we might have to just leave it. So I'm just gonna take a different brush and just focus this in the inner corner. Okay, cool. So that's basically it. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face. Probably put lashes on, and then I will show you guys the finished look. Okay, so this is the finished look. Are the lashes popping off? Literally popping off, like falling off, flying away, you know, because butterfly. Okay, never mind. This is the finished look. Okay, not getting super close in because literally eyelashes about to come off. Anyways, this is the finished look. This isn't a review, so you know, there isn't really anything to mention. Everything performed just fine. The mattes are really good. The shimmers are pretty. They do take a little bit of building up, but nothing too like crazy. But other than that, I really like this color scheme. I really think this palette might be my favorite. It's a tie between this one and a Flutter. Like, whew, it's a tie, man. I don't know. We'll see. I have 2 more looks to do for this, so we'll see what one I end up liking better. I mean, not like it's a contest or anything, but you know, I don't know. I'm just really torn between the two, and I like both of them. Anyways, this is the finished first look. If you guys want to see the other 2 looks, go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so this is the second look. I realize now this is pretty similar to the look that I did when I did the 3 palettes. I'm pretty sure this is pretty similar. So this is supposed to be a little bit smokier, which it is, and I don't use all of the like pinky purple shimmers. It's mainly just the like silver one, and then that's it. And then it is a little bit darker than the other one, and I do a wing, and then I also add a little bit of the glitter on here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys what I did, but I do want to just acknowledge that it does look a lot of like the other one. It wasn't really my intentions, but I did a couple things that are different, so hopefully you guys forgive me, because I have been putting off this video for a little bit of time because I've just, well, I did the other 2, and then I did the Kesha one, and then now this one, and this is the one that anyways, so let's go ahead and just get into it. We're gonna start with Made to Last. So from Made to Last, we'll go into a little bit of details. honestly feel like this is almost exactly what I did with the other look. And then we'll go into Reckless. And then just go a little bit more into Reckless. Make sure it's super. Alright, and then I'm going back into Made to Last. And then from Made to Last, we're going to go back into Reckless. Just bring a different brush. I like to use this Luxie brush that's like a little slanted a little bit. It's the 243 Precision Blending Brush. So I just like taking something like this and really focusing it in here. So when we do our cut crease, it looks really nice. And I'm just going to take a little bit of Night Dream, which is the shade next to Reckless. So this one right here, that more black shade. It's like, so I didn't realize this until I actually started working with it. It's a black shimmer shade, but it's got like this, well, it's not like a shimmer shade. So it's a black like matte shade with like sparkles in it basically. The sparkles are like purpley, which is really pretty. Okay, so I'm just taking a tiny bit of that. Like honestly, I think I might have taken too much, so I'm gonna go in a little bit to Reckless, and then we're just gonna focus that right here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease out and I will show you guys the rest of it. So I actually have been getting a few questions about the glitter primer that I use, and I'm saying this because most of the time when I use a shimmer shade or glitter or anything like that, I use a glitter primer. It honestly could be the best shimmer in the whole entire world that you don't really need a glitter primer with, and I use one anyways, like a lot of the time at least. So the one that I use is the NYX glitter primer. It's this one in the little like iridescent like tubey tube. Anyways, that's the one that I've been using. I actually haven't tried any other glitter primer, so I think this one's the best. I don't know if it is the best or not, but yeah, so this is the one that I'm talking about. If you guys hear me talk about the glitter primer, it's the one from NYX. So I mentioned that because after I cut my crease, I took a little bit of the glitter primer on the back of my hand, took a flat concealer brush, and just kind of put the glitter primer where I'm going to end up putting this shadow. And I do have a tendency to wet my brush sometimes, and I forget to mention it. And by wet my brush, I will like clean it off with a makeup wipe, and so I usually do that for stuff like this too. It's just kind of something that I do, and I don't necessarily mention it every time. I think it's because I'm just so used to doing it that I kind of forget. But yeah, so the brush is a little tiny bit damp, and then I'm gonna just take a bunch on there. Oh, I guess I could tell you guys what shade I'm using. So it's this shade right here. And now, like, look at how easy this shade is applying. Like, absolutely beautiful. So I'm just bringing this out pretty far. So one of the differences between this look and the one that I did in the other video is I'm basically only using this shade until I get to the matte shade, so I'm not mixing this into any of those pinky purple shades in the palette. So it's literally just this shade here. Okay. So from here, we're going to go back into basically the majority of the colors that we already went into. So we're going to take that Details shade and really kind of help this blend out a little bit. And I think that this shade was a good one to use because it does have a tiny bit of glitter in there. So it kind of helps, like the shimmer kind of helps blend out a little bit more so than just a full matte. Okay, and then we're gonna go back into that Reckless shade, and it's looking a little rough right here, so I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of Made to Last and then just kind of buff that out a little bit. Okay, and then from there I'm gonna take let's see, what am I gonna do? Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that Night Dream shade, so this black sparkly shade, and then take a little bit of that, and then just start deepening up the look. I need a little bit more of that. Okay, so from there, I might have actually, now that I think about it, I think I kind of lost it in this eye. I tried to do a wing with the Night Dream shade. Okay, hear me out. I don't like any of the eyeliners I have right now. I have like only 2 in my collection, and both of them are ones, well, one of them is one I got in, it's one I got in one of my Ipsy bags when I was still getting Ipsy. I don't like it, okay? Don't like it at all. And then because I didn't like it, I bought a different one, and I don't like that one. So I tried to do the eyeliner with the Night Dream shade. I decided to, for some reason, use the glitter primer to like help me. I don't know why. Just to make it more pigmented or something. And it didn't do that, okay? It was so bad. Like, it was like sticking to the glitter primer and being all chunky and weird. And eventually I had to take one of the eyeliners that I don't like and try to go over it. So I did lose probably some of the darker part of this eye just because of that. I almost completely scratched it. So I'm proud of myself that I didn't, but yeah, so this eye might look a little bit darker. I might fix this eye. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of that Night Dream shade, and then we're just gonna kinda deepen this up a little bit. And then go back into that Reckless shade because I think I want a little too ham in here. And then that Made to Last shade, but I'm not adding anything to the brush from the last time that we used it. Just strictly buffing this out. So, the spicy part of this, which you probably can't even tell, is I used a little bit of the pressed glitter. I know, it's not eye safe. So I'm taking a little bit of the glitter primer, patting that right in here, and then from there dipping into Island Hopping, this pressed glitter right here. So how dark this look is compared to the other one, the fact that I didn't use those other like berry shimmers, that's what I'm calling them, and I'm using glitter and eyeliner, justifies that this look is different than the other one. Honestly, I love that look so much that I'm kind of not surprised that I accidentally recreated it. So I'm just packing that on kind of in the inner part of the lid just to add a little bit of something to it. Alright, see, that's pretty. You probably can't see it, but I can see it. I need to get a less squeaky chair. I know this is obnoxious. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that silvery shade, bring that down in here. From the silvery shade, I'm gonna take that detailed shade that we used earlier and just run it under here. Okay, and then from that detail shade, we're going to go into Night Dream again. And then just kind of bring that really close to the lash line. Pack it on more towards the outer part of the eye, and then slightly bring it in. From there, we're going to go into this highlight shade right here. And then we're going to put that under the brow and then in the inner corner. So just boom. I always forget this has green in it. Still think it's pretty cool though. And then inner corner. Beautiful. Okay, I might put like a fun color in my waterline, like a neon pink color or something. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup, put some lashes on. Okay, put some lashes on. I'm so weird. Okay, anyways, I'll finish everything up and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so this is the finished look. I guess overall it doesn't look exactly the same as the other look. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. I don't know. I just love that look so much that I guess I subconsciously, you know what's really funny is I almost said unconsciously, subconsciously kind of copied it, but I wanted this to be like a really smoky glam sort of look, so this is what we got. I know it's a little close to the other look. That'd be funny if you like zoomed in too, probably, but it's close to the other look. Not completely intentional, but this one's got glitter, if that counts, and it's deeper and smokier, and there are differences, okay? There's differences. Anyways, this is the finished look. Alright, so this is it. I'm sorry, I love this look. I can't help it. And this chair, I need to get a new chair. Anyways, this is the finished look. I guess we'll go ahead and get into look number 3. Okay, so this is the third and final look. I feel like I look like Beetlejuice. Not necessarily a bad thing. But, yeah, I feel like Beetlejuice. Okay, I shouldn't say that one more time. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this look. It's actually fairly simple. Not a cut crease or anything like that. So, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go into Silk Street first. Every time I see that name, I think of Backstreet Boys. Silk Street, Backstreet, I don't know. Okay. I'm just your typical like 90s kid, honestly, just because anything and everything reminds me of something from the 90s. Scents, colors, everything. Words. Now the big question is, if you guys grew up in the 90s, were you Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? I need to know. Obviously, well, I love how I say obviously when like literally there's no reason to say it, but it definitely was both, but more Backstreet Boys. I also had really big crushes on Nick, which I feel like everybody did, and then AJ. Now, I will say I almost did glitter for this look. Almost. I woke up and my right eye was a little irritated, had like a little like red spot. It almost looked like a popped vessel, but like it went away, so I'm sure that's not what it was. But I don't know if that has anything to do with me using glitter yesterday, but I'm not touching it today. I can only take so many risks in a week, okay? And by risks, I literally mean like putting pressed glitter on my eyes. Just taking a clean brush and just buffing this out a little bit. This is basically our transition shade. I don't really have anything lighter in like the purple family to use, so that's what we're using. So from there, we're gonna go ahead and go into this Reckless shade right here. I'm just gonna use the same brush, and we're just deepening everything up, giving it a little more dimension. Honestly, I was just gonna do the first purple shade and then the shimmer, but it definitely was lacking life, so I decided to add this shade, and then we're also going to dip into the black shade in the palette too. I don't remember, I don't know why I didn't even say like what's it called. Night Dream, there we go. So from there, I'm just going to take a tiny bit of Silk Street and just kind of buff everything out again. Okay, and then from there we'll go into Night Dream with a different brush, and it's this shade right here. I'm just taking that last shade, Reckless, and just kind of trying to soften up the black a little bit. So from here, I'm just gonna go in with my glitter glue or my glitter primer. You really don't need that much of it too, so just gonna take a little bit, pop it on the lid, and bring it up a tiny bit if you want to, depending on where you want the shimmer to go, how far up the lid you want it to go. Then I'm just gonna take my finger and dip into wherever the shade is, this one right here. How pretty that is. I'm sure I showed you guys already in the other video, but so this look is pretty monochromatic, smoky, but easy, but also really pretty. Bring up the shimmer a little bit past my crease, and then I just need to take a brush where my inner corner is, because trying to do that with nails is kind of hard. But I am going to take a little bit of that and bring it down. My lash line is a little, and then from there I'm going to go back into Silk Street. From Silk Street, go into a little bit of Reckless and really focus that closer to my lash line. I'm just going to take a little bit of Silk Street and just kind of buff everything out a little bit. So that's basically it. I do go into that highlight shade, so it's that the big 3 shade that's a little like greeny, and then just put that under my brow. I always end up taking more of this color than I need to. And then also inner corner highlight. I brought that up a little too far. I'm going to take a little bit of what's left of Silk Street. Try to buff that out a little bit. So from there I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup. I'll show you guys the final look, and that'll be it for the video. Okay, so this is the finished look. Actually, hold on, I'm not ready to show you guys yet. Okay, so yeah, I still feel like Beetlejuice, but like a glam Beetlejuice, you know? Anyways, we'll get you guys in a tiny bit closer. But yeah, super simple. I actually think it's really pretty though. I don't actually do looks like this that often. I feel like when I do my makeup, I always make it so not like complicated, but like, you know, I'll usually do like a cut crease or something, and very rarely do I do something monochromatic that's just kind of like smoked out and kind of really easy, but also really pretty. I was gonna add the little, like this glitter shade here, what is it called? Overpacked. I was gonna add that onto the lid, but I decided not to do that. But if you do use the pressed glitters around your eyes and you're comfortable with doing that, that's always an option to do that too. Again, I'm not recommending it, but since I do sometimes use the pressed glitters around my eyes, that was something that I was thinking of doing. I feel like this overpack shade is definitely it's a lot like finer than the other one is. Like, it's very small pieces, so I almost feel like it's, you know, I'm not going to say it's eye safe because on the back it does say that it's not eye safe, but I feel more comfortable with that shade around my eye than I do with the other one. But regardless, both of them say they're not for the immediate eye area, so look is pretty simple, but again, I think it's pretty, you know, and I'm just, everything is purple except you can't really see my hair, but you know, it's purple. Yeah, this is the finished look. I don't really have anything else to say because this isn't really a review. I will say I was torn between a Flutter and Butter Me Up and what one I liked better, what one was like more appealing to me, more like, I don't know, just something that was a little more me. And I was leaning towards this one, but after doing the 3 looks, I kind of feel like a Flutter is like just a tiny bit better. But a lot of it has to do with, I really like the oranges with my eyes. I feel like it makes my eyes lighter. Like, my eyes are obviously, like, they're a dark brown, but they definitely are lighter than what they appear on camera most of the time. And especially like with light, like they're actually pretty light considering. So I kind of like the oranges better just because, I don't know, it just makes my eyes look better and it's just a fun palette. Like, anyways, I think I am leaning towards this one being my like favorite one and then this palette, but overall they're all really, really pretty. Anyways, I think that pretty much wraps up this video. I'm trying to make sure my hair's not crazy. But yeah, that wraps up today's video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We'll see you next time.